Welcome to the deep dive. So, quick question for you right off the bat. Do you happen to have a Rhinoshield phone case? You know the ones I mean, right? That company known, well, pretty much everywhere for making those super tough, ultra protective cases, like a shield for your phone. Well, today, we're diving into something, well, really surprising. The same company, the one focused on incredibly durable plastics for keeping your phone safe, is now taking that exact same expertise
Right.
and using it to protect our oceans. Get this. It's a pretty wild transformation, and we're going to explore the innovation driving it.
Absolutely. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We want to unpack how Rhinoshield's new platform works. It's called Circular Blue. It's basically this groundbreaking system for cleaning up marine debris driven by AI. We'll look at why it's so important, for the environment, and also what bigger lessons are there here about innovation, about sustainability. We've got some great source material detailing Circular Blue's development, its potential impact. It's quite a story, a real strategic pivot.
Okay, let's definitely unpack that. Because, yeah, when you think Rhinoshield, you think tough, you think advanced plastics, resilient materials. Their whole thing has always been those phone cases, right? The ones that survive, well, pretty much anything you accidentally do to your phone, usually dropping it. So how does that expertise suddenly become this force for environmental good? It's quite a leap.
It is. And what's really fascinating is how Rhinoshield saw that connection. They realized their deep knowledge of these advanced plastic materials. It went beyond just protecting phones. They understood the materials themselves could pose challenges environmentally if not managed right. And that thinking, that realization was really the seed for Circular Blue. It's a truly pioneering marine debris cleanup platform. And it didn't happen overnight, not at all. We're talking a full 18 months of pretty intensive development and investment of over $2 million in R&D just to bring this idea to life.
18 months and $2 million.
Wow. Yeah. So it shows this wasn't just, a side project. It shows how specialized knowledge, like their expertise in impact-resistant polymers, can actually unlock solutions in totally different areas. It's finding new purpose from existing skills.
That's a huge investment, especially, like you said, for a company primarily known for phone accessories. It feels like a massive strategic shift. What really pushed them to take on something so, well, potentially risky and outside their usual lane? And then things got real, right? The first prototype actually started working.
Exactly. The first prototype, and they gave it a great name, the Changemaker Wave Breaker. It actually began its underwater operations back in June 2025. That was a huge moment, a real milestone. It clearly marked this evolution for Rhinoshield, showing they're serious about more than just consumer tech.
Okay, so the Changemaker Wavebreaker hits the water. What exactly is this Circular Blue system it's part of?
Right, so Circular Blue isn't just one device. It's a whole sophisticated system. It cleverly combines artificial intelligence, solar power, and importantly, these circular design principles. That means it's designed from the start thinking about reusing and recycling materials, minimizing waste. That's key. Its main job. Tackling plastic pollution right where it's often most concentrated in our coastal waters. And there's another layer here. This kind of innovation really reflects Taiwan's growing strength in areas like AI, renewable energy, and sustainable tech. It kind of showcases this national culture of environmental awareness, using tech know-how for the greater good.
Okay, so it sounds incredibly advanced, but yeah, there are already beach cleanups, other efforts.
Yeah.
What specific problem is Circular Blue solving that maybe wasn't being fully addressed? Because the scale of the problem is just immense. We're talking over 12.7 million tons of plastic pouring into the oceans every single year. Just try to picture that amount. It's staggering. And it's harming everything, marine life, coral reefs. And here's a scary stat. 80% of the plastic floating out there washes ashore within a month, often in places that are hard to reach for typical cleanups.
And that really highlights the limitations, doesn't it? Think about Taiwan, for example. You have lots of dedicated organizations, public and private, organizing beach cleanups. They get thousands of volunteers out there collecting waste by hand. And those efforts are absolutely vital, especially for awareness. They make a difference locally, but they're limited, right? By time, by how many people can show up, by the weather. They just can't operate continuously, and they struggle to deal with the sheer volume, especially the stuff that's still floating just offshore, about to land on the beach. We were always kind of playing catch up.
Right, playing catch up. And that's where Circular Blue comes in, aiming to change the game. So it's designed to get around those limitations. It intercepts the floating stuff before it hits the beach, like a low-energy system that just keeps going, day and night. Someone described it like a vacuum cleaner for the ocean. Is that a fair way to think about it?
That's actually a great analogy. It really captures the idea of continuous targeted cleaning, and it highlights the efficiency. Because it uses AI, Circular Blue isn't just randomly floating around. It actively targets pollution hotspots, the areas where the AI predicts or detects the highest concentration of waste. This means it collects debris much, much more efficiently than human teams trying to cover vast areas. It's precise. It's less about random collection and more about intelligent, focused interception right where it's needed most. A real shift from reactive cleanup to proactive prevention.
Okay, that AI targeting sounds key. So let's get into the mechanics, the nuts and bolts of this ocean vacuum cleaner. How does this autonomous system actually pull it off? How does it work?
Yeah, it's pretty ingenious, built around three main parts working together. First, you have these solar-powered floating platforms. They're not just static. They actually use something called water jet propulsion. Think of it like creating very gentle currents in the water. It's based on Bernoulli's principal fluid dynamics to subtly guide debris towards the collection point without using nets that could harm wildlife.
Ah, okay, so it gently hurts the plastic.
Sort of, yeah. Then second, you've got AI-enabled scout drones. These are the eyes of the system. They fly over the water, constantly scanning, using AI to spot and map out where the floating plastic is, concentrated those hot spots. They create this dynamic, real-time map for the cleanup.
Got it. Drones find the trash. Then what?
Then the third part comes in. GPS-guided surface vessels. These are autonomous boats. They use the GPS coordinates from the drones to navigate directly to those marked hotspots. They retrieve the debris collected by the floating platforms and then bring it back for processing. It's all integrated, working like a team.
Wow, a coordinated dance between platforms, drones, and vessels. That's impressive. And solar-powered, you said. So it can just keep going.
Exactly, around-the-clock operation. And because it's autonomous and modular, it needs very little human oversight day to day. That frees up people for other tasks, like processing the collected materials.
Plus, it's designed to be relatively quiet and low impact, right?
Right.
So it doesn't disturb marine life too much or get in the way of, say, fishing or swimming.
That's a crucial design consideration, yes. Minimal disturbance to the ecosystem and local communities. And this brings up another really important environmental point. By using clean solar energy instead of, diesel or oil for traditional cleanup boats, Circular Blue avoids creating new pollution while it's cleaning up the old pollution. It's a double environmental win, really baked into its sustainable design.
That makes perfect sense. Clean energy for cleanup. Which leads us right into the circular part of Circular Blue. This connects back to Rhinoshield's core ideas, doesn't it? It's not just about collecting the plastic. It's about what happens next. How do they actually close the loop?
Precisely. Closing the loop is critical. The plastic collected by Circular Blue doesn't just get landfilled or incinerated, it gets repurposed. It's sorted, cleaned, and then turned into new products. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some of those new products include components made using Rhinoshield's own material technology, the same kind of durable stuff they use in their cases. So it literally closes the loop from waste back to creation, as the sources put it. And it shows how their materials expertise has this whole other application now. It demonstrates that this collected waste can actually become a valuable resource again. That's the heart of a circular economy.
So the Changemaker Wavebreaker isn't just cleaning the ocean, it's feeding materials back into production. That's really something. It makes it such a powerful example of how a company known for one thing, phone accessories, can seriously pivot and tackle a huge environmental problem. It's pretty inspiring, actually. It's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed by the ocean plastic issue, but seeing companies like Rhinoshield stepping up like this gives you a bit of hope, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And Circular Blue aims to be even more than that. It's designed not just as a cleaner, but also as a floating research hub. Think about that. It actually has onboard labs, space for doing water quality tests, monitoring the local ecology, maybe even running educational programs for the public. So it's cleaning and collecting valuable data about ocean health at the same time, a kind of living laboratory out on the water.
A floating research lab that adds another whole dimension. And you mentioned it's modular. Does that mean it can be used elsewhere?
Exactly. The modular design is key for versatility. Our sources emphasize this. It means the system can potentially be deployed in different coastal areas around the world, adapted to local needs. It makes it a really flexible solution, useful for cleanup, useful for research, wherever plastic pollution is a problem near the coast. It's not just a one-size-fits-all machine.
Okay, so it's adaptable, multi-purpose, quite the innovation.
It really is. And when you put it all together, the advanced tech like AI and solar, the scientific research capabilities, the potential for community engagement, Circular Blue, really could change how we approach coastal protection globally. It stands out as a prime example of Taiwanese innovation, showing how you can blend technical skill with the deep commitment to environmental responsibility. A real beacon, you could say.
Or before we wrap up, let's quickly dive into some key vocabulary from our discussion. Understanding these terms really helps solidify everything we've talked about.
Good idea. Let's run through them. First, phone case. Pretty straightforward. A protective cover for a smartphone. Like, my Rhinoshield phone case has saved my phone from countless drops. We all know those.
Yep, definitely familiar with that one.
Next, circular design. This is that approach focused on minimizing waste by reusing and recycling materials. For instance, the company uses circular design to turn old products into new ones. That's key to Circular Blue's philosophy.
Okay, circular design, got it.
Then prototype. That's the first version of a product used for testing. Like, they tested the prototype before starting full production, referring to the changemaker wave breaker.
Right, the test version.
Marine debris. Simply put, trash and waste that ends up in the ocean. Example. Marine debris can harm fish, seabirds, and coral reefs. That's the core problem we're tackling.
That is a yes.
How about vacuum cleaner? Usually a home cleaning device using suction. Here it was used as an analogy. The vacuum cleaner for the ocean operates day and night to collect waste from coastal areas.
The ocean vacuum cleaner analogy, yeah.
Solar power. Energy from sunlight converted into electricity, as in the cleanup vessel runs entirely on solar power. Crucial for sustainability.
Clean energy. Makes sense.
AI-enabled, meaning powered or enhanced by artificial intelligence. Like, the AI-enabled drone identified areas with the most floating debris. That's the smart part.
AI-enabled, okay.
And drone itself, an unmanned aerial vehicle, often used for observation. Example. The drones scanned the coastline for plastic waste. The eyes in the sky. Hotspot. An area with a high concentration of something, in this case, pollution. The beach is a hotspot for plastic waste after storms, where the AI directs the cleanup.
Focus on the hotspots.
GPS guided, directed using the Global Positioning System for navigation. The GPS-guided vessel precisely navigates to cleanup sites. That's how the collection vessels find the debris.
Okay.
Bernoulli's principle, a concept from physics about how fluid speed affects pressure. We mentioned it briefly. Bernoulli's principle is used to guide debris into the collection zone. That's the clever water jet propulsion.
Right, the physics behind guiding the track.
And finally, autonomous, meaning able to operate without direct human control. The autonomous platform runs 24/7 without needing a crew, a key feature for efficiency.
Autonomous operation. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying those.
No problem. They're
Yeah.
definitely central to understanding this technology.
So just to recap this deep dive, Circular Blue is this amazing combination of AI, solar power, and that circular design thinking we just defined. And it comes from Rhinoshield, a Taiwanese company that, built its name on protecting our phones. It really shows what happens when innovation meets a new, urgent purpose.
It really does, and it underscores Taiwan's role as this dynamic center for technology, for creativity, and increasingly for environmental leadership. Rhinoshield and Circular Blue demonstrate that innovative companies absolutely can step up to tackle huge environmental issues like ocean plastic. They're not just removing debris without burning fuel, which is huge, but they're also feeding those materials back into the loop, creating new products. It's a really powerful, holistic model.
It truly is. But here's something to maybe leave you thinking about as we finish up. We see incredible technology like Circular Blue emerging, which is fantastic, and other research too, like looking into marine bacteria that might break down plastic. Innovation is moving fast, but is technology alone the whole answer? The hard truth is, we're all part of the system that creates the waste in the first place. Everyone is responsible for the waste they produce, right?
That's a crucial point to end on. It raises a big question for all of us, doesn't it? As technology like Circular Blue gives us powerful new tools, how do our own daily habits need to evolve alongside it? It's really about building a community, a society that doesn't just rely on tech fixes, but actively learns, adapts, and changes its own behavior for a sustainable future. The tech can help massively. But real, lasting change, that needs all of us thinking about our own impact and maybe, just maybe, changing how we do things day to day. What actions might stand out to you after hearing about this?